So hi, very good morning in the new year, and hopefully that this new year must be good for everybody, and there must be some normalcy. So there must be some normalcy, and moreover that there may be some kind of that after the vaccination and everything. So there must be some opportunity for face-to-face interaction so that you guys can come down to Delhi and in normal setup we can conduct the classes. ऐसा तो अभी नहीं होगा. I hope that before March it cannot happen, but after March I think that there is a possibility that it can happen. So I'm very good, Preeti, right now, and thank for asking about my health. So I'm quite fine. And good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tanya, Bhargavi, and Happy New Year to all of you. Not just the team, but also all the students. So today would be that I hope that yesterday was off for you guys also. For me also, it was not. It was off. So in this new year, let's begin with the Mughals. So let's begin with the Mughals, and I think that in last class I did talk a little bit about the Babur, and then after there was no discussion. So today's class and then one more class would be required. In that this part we will be completing. Moreover, still some of you are asking about the reference book. PhD करनी है तुम लोगों को लग रहा है. So no worries, एक बार फिर से बता दूंगा next class में. Not today because those who are asking that what to study from R.S. Sharma, एक तो वैसे भी NCERT. अब NCERT में क्या छोड़ोगे क्या पढ़ोगे? So it's better to read overall NCERT, but even if you want to know that if you want to know some specific chapters, so कल मैं किताब लेके आऊँगा. कल class है. Let me see that tomorrow if there is a class in your batch. So definitely I'll come with the book and then I'll mark the chapters. Yes, we do have class tomorrow. Then, so tomorrow I'll be bringing the Arya Sharma book and then I will be marking those important chapters. But my suggestion would be पूरा भी पढ़ सकते हो. That's there is no harm in reading Arya Sharma because that's NCERT book. और एक Oxford publication, no, not Oxford. I think that Oxford or Penguin किसी एक publication में है. So that is also similar. Then thank you, Riddhi, for your comments, and all of you who are asking about my health. So I'm quite fine right now, and in fact that it was cold and headache only at that point of time. But I think that it took a little bit of time, not the exact time which Corona takes, and I was not tested positive. That's the most important positive word that you don't test positive. So negative was the most celebrated word of the 2020. So let's and thank again I just want to thank you all from bottom of my heart. So let's begin with the today's class. So what I was saying that R.S. Sharma I will be bringing tomorrow, and in tomorrow's class I'll be marking the chapters then. So kal hopefully ancient and medieval we'll be able to complete, and after ancient and medieval we'll be starting with the नहीं कल तो नहीं next जब भी class होगा we'll be starting with the art and culture. ठीक है? So I think that last class I did talked about the Babur. And one more information that since in your batch earlier when the class was conducted, so it was from the board system, whiteboard was there. Now they have installed this screen, digital screen. Though I'm not feeling very comfortable with this digital screen, I have asked for the board also. So maybe speed would be little slow on this one. And the general thing is that I need a hell lot of space to write. But यहाँ तो एक वर्ड लिखते ही खत्म हो जाता है. So but visibility would be good for you guys. that whatever that would be written on this digital board, it would be quite visible, not like the whiteboard. But classroom में जब आओगे तो whiteboard फिर वापस चाहिए होगा. So let's begin with the today's class. So what I was saying to you guys on that day. So what I was saying that Babur died, and I hope that I told you a story also. That story with how Babur died and then Humayun regained consciousness. So Humayun came to power. Listen a little bit. लिख लेंगे बाद में. So Humayun came to power in 1530. And after coming to power, as I said to you, that there were many challenges before Humayun. So the challenge was not only external, but it was also internal. So first let's talk about the internal challenge. Both the challenges are very important, and the internal challenge was, if you remember that I told you when Babur was in his full senses and then Humayun was also in good times. So Babur took one promise from the Humayun that when I'm going to die, so please take care of your brothers. So please take care of your brothers, your younger brothers. And Humayun gave this promise to Babur. But soon after the death of the Babur, what happened? That these three brothers of Humayun, they started to create a kind of ruckus in the court, and then moreover they were also very critical of the attitude of the Humayun and the behavior of the Humayun. It's not like that Humayun was a bad person. Humayun in fact was a very good, a pious person. In fact, that he was quite better than Babur also. So what happened, that Humayun was egalitarian, not egalitarian, that's not right word. Humayun was intermixing person and then he easily intermixed with the people, and he was talking to even the lower rung people without such kind of demarcation. So many a times that brother accused him that he behaves like a lower born. And there were many other accusations also. Moreover, these brothers of Humayun, their names were Kamran, Askari and Hindal, they wanted the territory of the Mughals to be divided among them. So they started to demand areas for themselves only. So as such, what happened, that Humayun had to cede to his brothers, and according to the promise that he has given to his father, he decided that he will be giving the area of Afghanistan, that is Kabul and Sindh, to the brothers. So he gave this Kabul Kandahar area and Afghanistan Sindh area to his brothers. So internal challenge, once it was over, there was another challenge which was looming on Humayun's scenario. One was from Gujarat, the Gujarati ruler Bahadur Shah. There were so many Bahadur Shah in the Indian history, and in fact that when we talk about these Bahadur Shah, none of them were Bahadur. Really, just taking name Bahadur, you cannot become Bahadur. So none of them were Bahadur. So here what happened, that this Bahadur Shah challenge was there, and Humayun here also, he easily or convincingly defeated Bahadur Shah. So Gujarat episode was over. In fact, that Bahadur Shah, if you, okay, इस बैच में नहीं पढ़ाया है modern, so हो सकता है. So in modern, generally I don't tell this story, but किसी class में तो सुनाया होगा मैंने, that Portuguese were the one who killed Bahadur Shah at one instance. So Portuguese were the one who, with treachery, they killed Bahadur Shah. So Bahadur Shah threat was eliminated for Humayun. But the challenge which Humayun cannot face easily, that was the Sher Shah Suri's challenge from Bengal and Bihar area. So he was defeated. Humayun was successively defeated in two battles, Battle of Kannauj and Battle of Chausa. So in these two battles, Humayun was defeated, and after this defeat, Humayun had to escape from India. So he escaped from India. I'll tell you the little part of the story over here, that Humayun initially, it is believed, and it is as it is written in the history, that he was about to die, but somehow he was saved by one of his general, and that general, how he rescued Humayun, that both the people, they jumped into the nearby river and they swam across the river, and then finally they traveled and they reached over there in the Amarkot. This was one small Rajput kingdom over there in the Rajasthan area. So they reached to Amarkot, and in Amarkot, the ruler of the Amarkot, he gave refuge to Humayun. And it is also said that Akbar, who was the son of the Humayun, he was born over there in the Amarkot. But very soon, within 1.5 years only, that Humayun had to leave India because it was not good for him to be in India when Shershah Suri is the emperor and anytime he can hunt him down. Moreover, the ruler who has provided him refuge or asylum, there is a danger to that ruler also. Then, so Chhatrasal, yes, Veersal, I think. Veersal was the name, Veersal. So, of the Amarkot. So that's how he decided to leave this area, this Indian subcontinent. In this regard, what happened that the wife of the Humayun, her friend was a queen then, and queen of which area? Queen of Iran. So she requested that on her behalf that she requested asylum over there in the Iran. So the Iranian ruler Shah Tamashp, he was ready to give asylum to the Humayun, but in the process he said that you will have to accept Shia Islam. You know that Mughals were Sunni followers of the Sunni Islam, and you know Iran from long time, from very beginning, they are the Shia Muslims then. So he said to this to the Humayun that you will have to accept Shia Islam, and that's how you will be given asylum. Humayun didn't had any such kind of option except accepting Shia Islam. He accepted Shia, and then he got asylum over there in the Iran. So that's the story. We will talk about after this Shershah Suri because he was the one who defeated Humayun. So you can write Humayun, the initial phase of the Humayun. So as you can see that visibility is good in this particular. So there were two phases of the Humayun, but here I am writing the first phase 1530 to 1540. So please write few words. Humayun had to face after coming to power, Humayun had to face many challenges internally and externally as well. Many challenges internally and externally as well. Externally as well. Full stop. Then you write internally and externally as well. To solve the internal problem, he gave the area of Afghanistan. You can mention Kabul, Kandahar, Sindh to his brothers. So you can write the name of his brothers. These brothers were Kamran to his brothers, Kamran, Askari and Hindal. Kamran, Askari and Hindal. Then further you mention in 1534 he had to face challenge from ruler of Gujarat. He had to face challenge from ruler of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah. Ruler of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah. But after the death of Bahadur Shah, challenge was over. After the death of Bahadur Shah, challenge was over. And as I told you, that Bahadur Shah was killed by Portuguese, then not by Humayun. So that's how the challenge was over. Full stop. Then you mention, but Humayun was not able to, Humayun was not able to defeat the Afghan ruler of was not able to defeat the Afghan ruler of Bihar Bengal, Sher Shah Suri. Afghan ruler of Bihar Bengal, Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah Suri, who defeated Humayun, in two successive battles. Who defeated Humayun in two successive battles. In two successive battles, that is in 1539 and 1540. 1539 and 1540, Battle of Kannauj and Chausa. Battle of Kannauj and Battle of Chausa. So Battle of Kannauj and Battle of Chausa. Then further you write, Humayun had to fled from India. Humayun had to fled from India. Fled from India, full stop. He received refuge in Iran. He received refuge in Iran. In Iran, full stop. Then you mention he received refuge in Iran. Then after, in India or in Delhi, you can write in Delhi, Sher Shah Suri established Sur Empire. Sur, S-U-R, Sur Empire. So let's talk about the Sur Empire. So let's talk about the Sur Empire. And this one, 1540 to 55. 1540 to 55, and again in 55 Humayun will come back, and then he will be defeating the last Sur ruler, and then he will re-establish Mughals in India or re-establish Mughals in Delhi area. So let's listen about the Sur Empire. The most important ruler of this Sur Empire was the founder itself, Sher Shah Suri, and in fact it was the initiative of the Sher Shah Suri which we study. Then otherwise other rulers were just for the namesake, and it became easier for Humayun to defeat these other rulers of the Sur Empire. Then so listen little bit about the Sher Shah Suri, that he was the founder of this empire, that Sur Empire. Moreover, he was also an Afghan origin person. Then Sher Shah Suri, that he is known as man of vision, then, and man of vision, so not in this sense, so man of vision, and he took so many initiatives, and these initiatives were very relevant, and in fact that some of them are very important till this date. Till this date. Moreover, Akbar also, when he came to power, so took inspiration from the Sher Shah administration. The work which was unfinished by Sher Shah Suri because of his unfortunate death, so that was completed by the Akbar. So we will see in the Akbar's time, but first of all, Shershah Suri. So Shershah Suri founded this Sur Empire in India, and moreover, that he was expanding his area, but what happened that there was one unfortunate incident which happened at Kalinjar. His army along with so much of artillery, weapons, and then so many things, and gunpowder kind of thing also. So what happened that they were marching to some place, and it was led by Shershah Suri. But unfortunate incident was that one such gunpowder, or you can say that bomb which was there in their own troop, that exploded all of a sudden. This exploded all of a sudden, and in this explosion, Shershah Suri was hurt, and then he later died. So 5 years he was the ruler, but he took many initiatives in 5 years, which was important for the Mughals also. So please write few words about the Shershah Suri. You write, Shershah Suri was the founder of Sur Empire, and also the most important ruler, and also the most important ruler. Most important ruler. Then further you mention, he died in 1545. He died in 1545. 1545 due to an unfortunate event at Kalinjar. Unfortunate event at Kalinjar. Unfortunate event at Kalinjar. Then you write, during his tenure, he took many initiatives. During his tenure, he took many initiatives which are as follows. Which are as follows. So first I'll discuss that these all initiatives of the Shershah Suri. Listen, the very first initiative, and I hope all of you must be knowing that this initiative that's related to the roads, but road wala abhi discuss karte, but uske pehle kuch aur bhi. So Shershah Suri, that he let down the base of the provincial administration, but he was not able to elaborate it. Before he could elaborate, this Kalinjar incident happened, so he died. So this provincial base of the provincial administration, it was later on expanded by the Akbar. Then moreover, that Shershah Suri also took some initiatives in the other fields. For example, the most popular one that you all know, that he was the one who constructed this road, which nowadays it is known as the Grand Trunk Road, but originally it was a Badsa Road. Then, so Badsa Road. So this Badsa Road or the Grand Trunk Road, it was running from Kolkata to Peshawar. Then, so Kolkata to Peshawar. So this is one such very important contribution, and not only he created this very big road, and that is Grand Trunk Road, but also he created 4 important interlinking highways to the Grand Trunk Road. Then apart from the Grand Trunk Road, what else can be attributed to Shershah Suri? So Shershah Suri started the codification of the Muslim law, Sariyat. Sariyat is the law. I hope you all know that Sara or Sariyat. So this is the Muslim law, and this law was, everybody knew it, but he started codification of this one. Then codification means that it started to be laid down on the paper, or that it started to be written so that there must be clarity. So he started the codification of the Sariyat for the adjudication purpose. Then moreover, one more such thing, that Shershah Suri is also considered as the father of the postal system in India. He created this post offices which he called Dak Khana in far-flung areas. Then, so he is considered as the initiator of the postal system in India, whereby he created Dak Khanas in far-flung areas. And moreover, one more thing which I missed actually when I was talking about this particular Grand Trunk Road and other highways. So not only he created these highways, but on the sides of these highways, he created sarai. And what is sarai? The resting places for the travelers. Then, so sarai were created. Then another initiative of the Sher Suri that he released official currency of his empire. And what was the name of this official currency? It's the same which we are using today. So it is Sher Suri who started rupiah. Then, so rupiah became the official currency of the, and at that point of time, what was this rupiah? So this rupiah was basically, it was, the color is not available here. Let me write with this color. So it was, yes, the color is available. Silver color. So it was silver currency. So rupiah, so he started rupiah as the official currency of the Sur Empire, and then it was a silver currency. Another currency which was in circulation at this point of time, and that currency was dam. So dam, and what is dam? Dam was the, it was with color, I'm exact color I'm using. So dam was the copper currency. So copper currency. जैसे अभी के टाइम पे होता था ना, that I hope that you must have seen कि somewhere around 2000 that rupiah and then paisa. I hope paisa you know. So rupiah, paisa, ana. So the bigger currency is the rupiah and the smaller currency was the dam. So this was the official currency of the Sur Empire. And even in the Mughal time, rupiah continued, and then even after the Mughal, when Britishers came, so rupiah continued. The only thing changed in the British time, with the arrival of the British, the pronunciation of the rupiah. And you know it very well that Britishers were not able to pronounce so many things in Indian language. Then, so, and irony is that you see that nowadays people mock others when they are not able to speak proper English. Then that proper English or with right kind of pronunciation. It's utterly stupidness or idiotic. When you are mocking somebody, if somebody is not able to speak a right word in the English, that is not at all required. वो अलग बात है कि हम लोग अंग्रेजी में पढ़ रहे हैं, अंग्रेजी मीडियम में एडमिशन लिया है, but otherwise not at all required. Can Britishers replicate the same for the Indian languages? No, they cannot do. So they cannot do. We can do this thing, that we can speak in very good English, and then I feel that many people in our own class, once they start speaking, so people will not be able to differentiate that they have not studied in Britain. So this kind of capability is there in India, but can any British exactly replicate Indian language? No, that is not at all possible. Their pronunciation would be quite funny. So, so what Britishers did, that they were not able to pronounce rupiah. So rupiah की जगह पे क्या किया? They started to call it rupee. So they started to call it rupee. So they just deformed the original one, and you know, though we are very capable, we have the capacity, but you know that one of the biggest fools and one of the biggest, not fools, I'll say that, the people who were so caught up in the slave mentality that even till this date, we are not able to just continue with our old one rupiah. अभी रुपी ही चल रहा है अंग्रेजी में, चलो हिंदी वालों ने तो कम से कम कंटिन्यू किया रुपया, बट अदरवाइज दैट रुपी ही चल रहा है सब जगह पे. एंड दिस स्लेव मेंटालिटी इज सो प्रेवलेंट इन दिस कंट्री that you all know. I don't need to elaborate upon this. So we all become slave of these all kind of foreign things which is not in India. वो बोलते हैं ना कि घर की दाल घर की मुर्गी साग बराबर kind of. Then so this is what, that when you are far from home, then you realize that what is the importance of the home. But कोरोना में क्या, घर पे ही तो थे सब लोग. So you will feel that घर से बुरी जगह तो कोई हो ही नहीं सकती है. So now let's get back to the course. So this is one initiative that is still continuing. So please write all the initiatives. एक दो और नहीं, everything I have mentioned. Only thing that we need to write. So please write that initiatives of Sirsa. And the first one you write. He created the base of provincial administration. He created the base of provincial administration. Provincial administration, which was later elaborated by Akbar. Which was later elaborated by Akbar. Which was later elaborated by Akbar. Full stop. Then next you mention second initiative. He started codification of Shariat law, codification of Shariat law for adjudication purpose. For adjudication purpose. For adjudication purpose. Shariat law for adjudication purpose. Then after full stop, mention next to write. He created many grand highways in India. He created many grand highways in India. Many grand highways in India, which included the most important Badsa Road. Most important Badsa Road or Grand Trunk Road. Grand Trunk Road running from Kolkata to Peshawar. Running from Kolkata to Peshawar. Running from Kolkata to Peshawar. Then further you write, on both the sides of the road, on both the sides of the road, on both the sides of the road, he created resting places. He created resting places for the travelers. He created resting places for the travelers. Sarai. Resting places for the travelers. Sarai. Then after this, next you write. So I hope you are done with the same. I will take new page. So next one you write that he is also considered as, next point, he is also considered as initiator of postal system. Initiator of postal system, whereby he created Dak Khana in far-flung areas. Dak Khana in far-flung areas. See, going by the words what you have written in this one, So it does not mean that there was no such correspondence or sending or receiving gift or sending or receiving consignment was not there earlier. But this kind of organized system was not there, whereby you are creating a post office. So for example, let's suppose that I'm going to send something to my hometown, and what happens, so from here I'm giving it to a post office over here in Delhi. From that post office it is going to Lucknow. From Lucknow it is going to my hometown. Then from my hometown it is going to from that post office it is going to my village. So this way, so basically that this kind of organized system was not there then. So this type of organized system was not there earlier, though the correspondence was already there, but this kind of organized system not. So this is one such initiative. Then next you write Sirsa released the official currency of Sur Empire. Sirsa released the official currency of Sur Empire, that is rupiah, silver currency, and dam, copper currency. Dam was copper currency. So this is about the initiatives of the Sirsa Suri. Okay? So we are done with the Sirsa Suri. We don't need to know further more about this particular person or this dynasty. So now listen, you'll be changing paragraph and then you'll be writing, but first you listen. So in 1555, Humayun came back from Iran, and this time with the support of the Iranian ruler Shah Tamashp. So in India, that the Su rulers, they were not that powerful like the founder Sirsa Suri. So what happened, that very easily Sirsa Suri's, sorry, not Sirsa Suri, the last Suri ruler was defeated by the Humayun, and Humayun re-established Mughals in India in 1555. But listen, that 1555 when Humayun re-established Mughals in India, he was a very unfortunate person. And then this was the time that when he could have run the administration of the Mughal court smoothly, but there was something else written in his stars. So one personal aspect or one personal that likening, you can say that one personal aspect of the Humayun's life is that Humayun was a ardent believer of the astrology and astronomy. Then, so astrology, astronomy, basically what is astronomy? The arrangement of the stars and on the basis of that astrological predictions. So he always believed in this, and then he has in his previous life when he was in Iran and before Iran, that whatever he concluded according to the arrangement of the stars, most of the time it was quite correct. So what happened, that when he re-established Mughals in India, so he created a library, and this library was known as Sher Mandal. On the top of this library there was an observatory. One fine day in 1556, this person Humayun was on the top of the observatory to see the arrangement of the stars, and what happened, that it is said that he saw some kind of very bad arrangement of the stars on that day, and then he was little bit panicky after seeing that particular bad arrangement. So with some thoughts in his mind, he was descending from the stairs, but what happened, that some rope was there on the stairs. His leg got entangled in the rope, and then he fell from the stairs. So he fell from the stairs, and because of which he died. So on his death, the historians, they always write some notes about the ruler. So what they wrote, that they were the same stars, they were the same star which led to the ascendance of Humayun, and they were the same stars which led to the fall of Humayun. So that's how Humayun died. And after his death, his minor son, who was just 13 or 14 years old, not in India, yes, that you need to know. So not in India, at this point of time, his minor son, Akbar, was in Kabul. So हो सकता है नानी के घर पे रह रहे हो, छुट्टियां मनाने गए हो, कोरोना लॉकडाउन की. So So he was in Kabul and then he was declared the emperor of Hindustan. But that since he was not there in India and Humayun died, so soon after the death of the Humayun, these Afghans, that Surs, then so they had one of their that protege you can say, or one of their courtier who was loyal to the this Afghans. His name was Hemu. So Hemu at this point of time he captured Delhi. Then after the death of Humayun he captured Delhi, and when he captured Delhi, so this news reached to the Mughal Emperor Akbar then, and he was a minor. So at this point of time, the Mughal general Bairam Khan, he started from the Kabul to fight with the Hemu, and that's how the second battle of Panipat happened. In this second battle of Panipat, Hemu was thoroughly defeated by Bairam Khan, and not only defeated, but Hemu's head was cut, and after that beheading Hemu, the head was represented as a gift to the Akbar. Then, so the minor king, so as a gift to the Akbar. So this is what happened in this second battle of Panipat, and it led to the firm establishment of the Mughals in India, or firm establishment of the Akbar as the next ruler of India. So please mention, I think that you have written about the Sirsa Suri. So abhi likho, change paragraph and then you mention, उसमें लिखो, in 1555, in 1555, Humayun came back from Iran. Humayun came back from Iran. Then further you mention, came back from Iran with the support of, came back from Iran with the support of Iranian ruler Shah Tamashp. With the support of Iranian ruler Shah Tamashp. Shah Tamashp. Humayun eliminated Suris from Delhi. Eliminated Suris from Delhi. And reestablished Mughal rule in India. Reestablished Mughal rule in India. Then further you mention reestablished Mughal rule in India. But in an unfortunate incident, Humayun died. Humayun died when he fell from his observatory cum library, Sher Mandal. Observatory cum library, Sher Mandal. Observatory cum library, Sher Mandal. Then full stop. Then further you mention, after the death of Humayun, Delhi was captured by an associate of Afghans. Hemu. An associate of Afghans, Hemu. Full stop. Then you mention associate of Afghan, Hemu. Then on this question, Mughal general Mughal general Bairam Khan. On this question, Mughal general Bairam Khan fought with, on this question, Mughal general Bairam Khan fought with Hemu in second battle of Panipat. Fought with Hemu in second battle of Panipat. Second battle of Panipat, 1556. 1556. Then further you mention Bairam Khan thoroughly defeated Hemu and beheaded him. Thoroughly defeated Hemu and beheaded him. ठीक है? And beheaded him. Then further you mention which led to elevation of Akbar, the minor son of Humayun, Akbar, the minor son of Humayun, as the next Mughal emperor. As the next Mughal emperor. As the next Mughal emperor. Then, so this is how the Akbar came to power at this point of time. Okay? Now listen. So after this, what we need to know that we are going to start with the Akbar's tenure. So Akbar's tenure, particularly that what all things happened at the time of the Akbar. Okay? In fact, that it's a big topic that we are going to see. So, कहाँ से आ जा रहा है? Cancel. So let's begin with the Akbar. So let me write Akbar. So 1556 to 1605. देखा? इतना लिखने में बोर्ड खत्म. So this is what is the problem with this digital board. And you guys must be thinking कि मैं अपने घर से पढ़ा रहा हूँ. नहीं. I'm in classroom only. This digital screen is there also there at my home, but अच्छा नहीं लगता ये मेरे को. And you know the technology, अब टेक्नोलॉजी की हेल्प से थोड़ी बहुत इस साल क्लासेस भी हुई हैं, so I cannot be very critical of technology, but things will not always be the same. Human element or human touch or face-to-face interaction you can never eliminate from the scenario. In fact, that classroom teaching, अब ऐसा किसी ने तो सोचा नहीं था कि पैंडेमिक आएगा, so there would be only online platform. So only online, that one-way communication. To me, it seems like one-way communication. तुम्हारे तो सिर्फ answers और जो भी comments हैं, they come on the prompter as something written. Then, but otherwise, it feels quite good that when I hear your voices also. तुम लोग को सामने से देखने में भी अच्छा लगता है. So hopefully things will come back to the normal. So let's look at the Akbar's period. So when we talk about the Akbar, he was the greatest of the Mughal emperors. Then greatest of the Mughals, it's not from the perspective of the area he controlled, the territories he controlled, but from the perspective of the character he was, Akbar. So Akbar came to power 1556 and then he was a minor, basically 12-13 years old. Then So at this point of time when he came to power, so he was working under the regency of the Bairam Khan. There are many interesting stories related to the Akbar. So he was working under the regency of the Bairam Khan, the general. So till 1560, he was very much under the control of the Bairam Khan, and he was whatever Bairam Khan wanted, he needed to kind of give sanction or approval to that particular policy or that particular program. But meanwhile, there was one more person in the Mughal court at this point of time, and she was a lady who was also very much active in the politics. In fact, that she was also very much interfering in the politics. Then, so the name of the lady was the Mehemanga. Then, so not only Bairam Khan but Mehemanga, and Mehemanga was also, she was, you know, that there is a mother, but there is another helper to the mother who takes care of the child. So Mehemanga was the one who actually who raised Akbar then, and all the time that she cared Akbar like her own child. Though Mehemanga has her own son, had her own son, and the name of that son was the Adam Khan, only son Adam Khan. So let's listen to this part. So Mehemanga also started to interfere in the politics. Moreover, she didn't like that Bairam Khan for very long having such a powerful position in the court. So she started to what I can say, that do some kind of not conspiracy, but she started to fill the ears of Akbar against Bairam Khan. And at one point of time, she was right also. So what was this? So what happened that one fine day, she said to the Akbar that please look at the people who are there at the administration, who are at the important positions in the administration. These all people are novice. Then these all people are novice, inexperienced people, and moreover, the most experienced person, the most old person is the Bairam Khan himself. Then, so please ask this question to the Bairam Khan that why in the administration that majority of the people are inexperienced, and then that what is the reason behind that. So Akbar asked to the Bairam Khan that majority of the people are inexperienced then. So Bairam Khan gave some kind of reply according to that inexperienced people, or over the period they will become experienced, or they are more enthusiastic, they will be more contributing, and then at a young age when we are incorporating this all young people into the administration, so they will be learning it fast, then they can be bended according to the thoughts and processes. So Akbar then finally said that, so it means that young people are beneficial to the administration. So it means that everybody in the administration should be young. I am young. These people are young. I think that you are old, and you are old enough. You need some kind of rest. So you need some kind of rest. And please tell me that how would you like to rest? That would you like to go to some kind of Hajj, that if you want to go to Makkah, I'll make arrangement for that, or if you want to lead a luxurious life or a palatial life, a holiday life, so I will make arrangement for the same so that you can enjoy your retirement days. So Akbar was blunt at this time that he made these offerings to the Bairam Khan. Bairam Khan understood that now what is going on then. So Bairam Khan understood, and like any wise person, before anything could happen, he stepped down then. So he stepped down, and after he stepped down, so he said to the Akbar that I would like to go to the Makkah then. So I would like to go to the Makkah. So Akbar started to make arrangements for Bairam Khan's departure to the Mecca. But what happened that while Bairam Khan was going to the Mecca, on way itself he was killed by somebody. And though it was mystery till the time of the life of the Akbar, but it was known to the people that who was that person. That person who killed Bairam Khan was basically the son of the Mehemanga Adam Khan. Then, so it was Adam Khan's men who killed Bairam Khan. Bairam Khan died when the news reached to the Akbar. So Akbar this point of time, he was feeling very guilty. Then, so Akbar was feeling very guilty, and moreover, he started to blame himself that it is because of him that Bairam Khan got killed. Then, so Bairam Khan got killed, that it was because he asked him to go to Makkah or take retirement. So he was very sad at this occasion. Moreover, that Akbar also did one more thing, that he adopted the son of the Bairam Khan at this point of time, who was one of the 9 gems of the Akbar's court, and his name was Mullah Do Pyaja. Though नाम से तो लगता है कि बहुत पुराने आदमी होंगे, बहुत old होंगे, but he was a young person. So Mullah Do Pyaja, so he adopted Bairam Khan's son, Mullah Do Pyaja. This is one part of the story. Then, for next 2 years, listen to that, next 2 years, the things continued like the same. That Mehamanga was interfering 1560 to 62, and 60, Bairam Khan died. So 60 to 62, Mehamanga was continuing to interfere with the politics. But one fine day what happened, that Akbar, though he was knowing that she is interfering and many a times he crosses the boundary, but Akbar was respecting that what she has done to Akbar. Then, so what happened that one fine day, Mehemanga's original son, his name was Adam Khan, and there was another general of the Mughals. So in the hall of the one such hall of the Mughals, that one such passerby hall, so what happened that in this hall, the son of the Mehemanga, Adam Khan, he was confronting one of the general of the Mughals then, and moreover, the confrontation was so loud. Both of them were shouting at each other. So shouting at each other, meanwhile that they were shouting at each other and they were yelling at each other. Moreover, there were sounds of feast on each other also. So it was very unexpected that they chose this place, because this was place where Akbar rarely came, or he didn't came. But that was the day when Akbar passed from that side. He was going from this side, and then when he entered into that passerby hall, so what happened, that what he saw, Adam Khan putting his dagger inside the stomach of the other general. In front of the Akbar's eyes only, Adam Khan killed general, and he was not aware about that Akbar is there. Akbar was so angry, and then he was full of the blood, that what he did, that very immediately he threw Adam Khan from that passerby hall. That was almost 4 or 5 story high, and he threw Adam Khan from the top of that passerby hall, and Adam Khan was on the floor with all over blood, and then he also died. With this incident, Mehemanga not only she retired from the politics, but she also started to go with the depression. And you know that though she was treating Akbar like her own son, but you know that Akbar cannot be the original son of that lady. There is this difference, that Akbar was not born from not given birth by the Mehemanga. Though he was taken care by the Mehemanga, but Mehemanga has given birth to the Adam Khan. Acha ho ya bura ho, beta to tha. So she was in depression, and what happened that within 1 month only, she also died because of the shock and all. And she didn't said anything to Akbar. In fact, that when Akbar was explaining to Mehemanga that this is what I saw, and this is what I did. So then Mehemanga said one word, last word, that was the last word of the Mehemanga, that aapne bahut acha kiya. So aapne bahut acha kiya, and then she never said a single word to the Akbar. In fact, that though see that she was interfering in the politics, that is one aspect. Then, but her love towards the Akbar, we cannot say that it was lesser, or she anyway she did not wanted to disrespect the authority of the Akbar. So she was closer to Akbar. In fact, Akbar knew it very well that she was closer to Akbar, and Akbar was also closer to Mehemanga. So after the death of the Mehemanga, Akbar built a memorial or such kind of maqbara for the Mehemanga. So he respected this lady. So but with the death of this lady, now Akbar was completely free to start his campaign. Then he started his campaign. ठीक है? So you write few words. कुछ भी नहीं लिखा है ना, so अकबर ही लिखा है, नाम ही लिखा है और कुछ तो नहीं लिखा है. So you write initially Akbar was working under the regency of Bairam Khan. Akbar was working under the regency of Bairam Khan. Then further you mention under the regency of Bairam Khan after full stop. In 1560, Bairam Khan died. In 1560, Bairam Khan died, and in between 1560 to 62, in between 1560 to 62, 1560 to 62, there was influence of a lady, Mehamanga, in the Mughal administration. Influence of a lady, Mehamanga, in Mughal administration. Full stop. Then you mention from 1562, Akbar started his campaign of territorial expansion. Akbar started his campaign of territorial expansion. This is self-explanatory itself, so लिख ही लो, explain करने की जरूरत नहीं है. You write, he annexed, so you write these areas. Bengal, Bihar, Kabul, Kashmir, Malwa, Gujarat, Khandesh, and parts of Ahmednagar. This is wrong. Usko spelling is incorrect. I will write Khandesh and parts of Ahmednagar. So Bengal, Bihar, Kabul, Kashmir, Malwa, Gujarat, Khandesh and parts of Ahmednagar. So this you write. Then further you mention with Rajput rulers, he followed the policy of negotiation. With Rajput rulers, he followed the policy of negotiation, whereby he declared that if Rajputs accept supremacy of Akbar, then they would be given full autonomy. and independent status in their own area. Full autonomy and independent status in their own area. So in fact that it was just a symbolic thing, that you needed to just accept that yes, Akbar is our ruler. Though we are the ruler of this area, but Akbar is overall ruler. So this is a kind of concept you can say that when we talk about that states and then the center, then so states and center. So states, they have their own chief minister, then but the chief minister, he is saying that our central government is led by the Modi ji. Then so this is what is the situation over there in the Rajput area, that they are completely free autonomy, they have been given autonomy, then so they have been given autonomy, and then moreover they have their independent status, but overall they need to accept the supremacy of the Akbar. So now listen that as such in this scenario, majority of the Rajputs, they accepted this proposal of the Akbar, and there was only one who did not accept it, and this person was the, I hope you all know, that Maharana Pratap of the Mewar. Then so Maharana Pratap of the Mewar, and this part is also not we cannot just pass that we cannot just skip this section by writing few words and then not telling you the story. That would be injustice. So I'll be telling you the story, though from the story part nothing is to be written, just to make facts clear and then also to make things be alive in your memory. So listen that Maharana Pratap of the Mewar, he refused to do so. Then so he refused to do so, and as such that you must be knowing that there was this very famous battle of Haldi Ghati in 1574 or 76. I will be चलो मैं बता दूंगा कि 76 है या 74, थोड़ा टाइम दो. So in this battle of Haldi Ghati, so there are many such kind of textbook in India where the different kind of interpretations and not interpretation, different kind of outcomes are mentioned about the Haldi Ghati. So let me tell you some reality about the battle of Haldi Ghati. First of all, when I was talking about that this person, the adopted son of the Bairam Khan, Mullah do Pyaza, then so there were many other people in the Akbar court who were the gems of the Akbar's court. For example, Tansen was the one of the gem of the Akbar court. Then Birbal was one. Then Mullah do Pyaja. Then Abdul Rahim Khan Khana, and then Akbar's one of the very close friend Abul Fazal. Then who else? This person, which I'm going to tell you, Raja Man Singh of Gwalior or Amer. Yes, Raja Man Singh Tomar. Then, so Raja Man Singh Tomar was one of the closest ally of the Akbar. Then, so closest ally of the Akbar. Now listen, that Raja Man Singh, so what happened that when this Maharana Pratap refused to do so, so what happened that Akbar did not lost hope. In fact, that he did not wanted to fight in the beginning itself. He sent one of the closest ally, that is Raja Man Singh, to the Raja Man Singh. I think that he was from Gwalior. Then so Raja Man Singh to the or Amer, exact place I am not very clear, but he sent Raja Man Singh to the Akbar's place. Maharana Pratap's place. So listen to this, that Maharana Pratap and Raja Man Singh, they were Rajputs and they were kind of relatives also. So what happened that Man Singh was so that he was so emboldened with the kind of fact that if he goes there to the Maharana, so Maharana will accept the proposal. On the other hand, Maharana was highly disaffected. Then he was highly disaffected and he didn't like this idea that on behalf of the Akbar, Man Singh will come to make him ready to accept this proposal. So what happened that when Man Singh arrived, so Maharana did not, generally the tradition in the Mewar area, that anybody who is coming to the your place, so he is given a kind of reception by the ruler himself. So Maharana, he did not turn up to give a reception to the Man Singh. In fact, that Maharana sent his son for the reception of the Man Singh. Then so Man Singh was when he came and then he thought that that it's not good, that why he didn't came. He asked this question that why where is Maharana? So then the son of the Maharana said that he's not keeping well these days. Then so he has sent me to take care of you, and then don't worry that I'll take care of you with all with all such kind of things that you expect from the Maharana, and you can tell that for what purpose you have come to this place and Mewar, and then same can be conveyed to the Maharana. So then Mansingh was angry, and you know that in Indian houses whenever there is a marriage, so in the marriage situation, have you ever seen that दो लोग होते हैं बहुत जल्दी भड़क जाते हैं, ठीक है, and they easily get angry, and they are the ones that who are often running from the marriage scenario in the families, फूफा जी and जीजा जी, then so ये लोग बड़े नाराज होते हैं. So Mansingh's situation was also like that he was becoming so angry that he was just about to go from the place, but Maharana's son requested to Mansingh that sir अब यहाँ तक आ गए हैं तो खाना खा के जाइएगा, ठीक है, बड़ी बेइज्जती होगी, बड़ी बुरी लगेगी कि that if you don't have food over here, please have food and then go. Then so Mansingh agreed, and then when the food started, so they had food, that was all okay, but just in front of the Mansingh only, what happened that when Mansingh was over with having the food while other people were continuing, then or not continuing, they were also done with the food. So the servants came, they took the utensils in front of the Mansingh only. They went and they started washing in front of the Mansingh only, and they were not washing anybody else's utensils. Then they were washing only Mansingh's utensils. So Mansingh got angry. He asked this to the Maharana son that what have you called me over here for doing this service to me, for doing disrespect to me, or have you called me over here to humiliate me? So then Maharana's son passed the final comment. Then he said that अकबर आपके फूफा होंगे, मेरे नहीं, ठीक है, आपने उनसे रिश्ता जोड़ा है, मैंने नहीं. That was the final answer that Mansingh got, that Mewar will not join this particular league of the Akbar, and they will go even to the extent of fighting. So the so hurt and embarrassed, not embarrassed but humiliated Mansingh, he went back to his place, and he was seething with the revenge. He was seething with the revenge, that the humiliation that he faced at the Mewar, he wanted to take the revenge of that. So basically this battle of Haldi Ghati was not fought between the Akbar and Maharana Pratap. It was fought between the Mansingh and Maharana. Then so Mansingh and Maharana in this battle. So in this battle of Haldi Ghati, let me tell you a few things related to this battle of Haldi Ghati, that initially the Maharana's army was quite strong. It was going strong. In fact, that Maharana's army, they targeted the elephant on which Mansingh was sitting, and elephant just sat down. And Mansingh was completely in the range of the Maharana's army, that he can be killed. He could have been killed anytime soon. But since he was fighting, that Mansingh was fighting, and he was the closest colleague of the Akbar. So Akbar sent his army at this point of time. And it was the Akbar's army first which rescued Mansingh, and not only they rescued, but they overpowered the scenario. That this was not expected, but suddenly they overpowered the scenario. And in this scenario, what happened? So one arrow hit one leg of the Maharana's horse, that was Chetak. Then so Chetak, and just after this, that when Maharana's life was in danger, he was surrounded by the enemy from all the side. So Chetak took this impromptu decision, that turn back and start running. And then the Chetak started running, and it's what is told about the Chetak, that it ran near about 40 to 50 kilometers continuously with a speed of anything in between 50 to 40 kilometers per hour. So it ran, and then finally coming closer to one very big stone. It's a kind of a hillock, where that he stopped. Maharana, when he descended from the Chetak, Chetak also sat down and Chetak died of heart attack. Then, so Chetak finally died on that occasion, but somehow it saved the life of the Maharana. Moreover, what kind of wrong information is mentioned in many textbook, not just one, but in many textbook, and different kind of things are there. That, for example, that 5 years back, that Rajasthan textbook, they claimed that Maharana was victorious in the war. Then there are some books which claim that Akbar or Mansingh was victorious in this war. In fact, that this war was inconclusive. That any war can be said as that this party was victorious or that party is victorious only when that area is annexed by the person. So the Mewar could not be annexed by the Akbar's army or Mansingh's army. It means that the war was inconclusive. Nobody was victorious. But yes, casualties were there from both the sides. And in fact, that the biggest casualty in the Mewad's army was the death of the Chetak. Then, so death of the Chetak. So uh, after this incident, Maharana came back and he started his own administration in Mewad area. Then, meanwhile, Akbar also realized that you don't need to go time and again to fight with this person. Let's put this particular issue some rest for some point of time. And in fact, that Akbar was quite appreciative of the Maharana's attitude then, or the kind of bravery, the kind of courage that was shown by the Maharana. Akbar was quite appreciative of this one. One more incident I would like to share with you guys. So ये कहानियाँ कुछ भी वैसे तो ऐसा है कि नहीं कि मैं डिक्टेट करवाऊं, जरूरत नहीं है, but this will help you. And moreover, many of times and many of places, if you feel कि यहाँ पे मुझे ये वाला part लिख लेना चाहिए, that is up to your own conviction, कि तुम्हें जो समझ में आता है उसको लिख लिया करो. Then, otherwise it is not required to be dictated. But yes, whenever you feel that कि याद नहीं हो रहा है ये वाला particular part, so you can get back to the story. हो सकता है उससे कुछ help हो जाए. So now listen that what I was telling you, another part of the story. So another part of the story, you remember this, why I quoted every name, there is a deliberate purpose of these all names. So Mullah Do Pyaja I quoted. So Mullah Do Pyaja was one of the adopted son and he was one of the gem of the Akbar's court. Now Mullah Do Pyaja was given the area of Ajmer by Akbar. Okay? Area of Ajmer was given by Akbar and Mullah Do Pyaja's family was living over there in the Ajmer and he was of kind of a lord of that area. Now what happened that Maharana has restarted his administration and full-fledged administration over there in the Mewad. So his son, that Maharana's son, started the expansion activity. Then, so started the expansion activity. Moreover, what happened that in one such incident, Maharana's son, he captured Ajmer fort. Then he captured Ajmer fort and moreover, not only he captured Ajmer fort, defeated Mullah Do Pyaja's that sub-army which was there. So Ajmer fort, and then he also house imprisoned all the ladies and the children inside that Ajmer fort. Then, so house imprisoned that family of the Mullah Do Pyaja. When this news reached to the Maharana that his son has won the Ajmer, he was happy. But when Maharana learnt the news that his son has house arrested not only those all people but also the women and children, he became so angry and furious on his son that he himself went to Ajmer. He kind of that asked for the forgiveness to the Mullah Do Pyaja then, and he asked for the forgiveness and he asked for the forgiveness on behalf of his son's mistake also, that how come he can imprison the women and children. Then, so he gave back Ajmer area to the Mullah Do Pyaja, came back to his own place after rebuking his own son. So see that the personalities of that time, then that on one hand Akbar, on one hand Maharana, and this is what was going on. So Akbar had all this knowledge and then finally the day came when the Maharana met his natural death. When his natural death happened, so this news reached to the Akbar's court and Akbar he uttered some words in the praise of the Maharana. What he said, that a great lion of this land has been let down to the ashes this day. So pay obeisance to this leader, and he was a leader to be inspired about. Then, so he paid his regards to the Maharana, and the way it is presented in the books, the way it is presented, कोई भी book लिख सकता है यार, तुम लोग भी लिख सकते हो. If you have a kind of a particular propaganda in your mind, then see that we are living in the age of the propaganda, and it's very right that China has a ministry of the propaganda. They don't do the double thing. That what they have clearly written that this is the ministry of the propaganda. So we are living in the age of the propaganda. Any Tom, Dick, Harry can write a book and then can write anything according to your their own conviction. How you are going to verify those details? It is not possible. That if you are going to verify those details, so you will become another historian. This is what is the possibility then. So this is what is the possibility. So anybody can write, and nowadays anybody is writing. Then सच्चाई है ये, कोई भी कुछ भी लिख देता है. And then many a times you people are frightened that कि अरे यार ये वाली किताब में तो ये लिखा था, वो वाली किताब में तो वो लिखा था. So that's the biggest problem at this point of time. You know, the people who prepared for the UPSC examination in 1990s, they were in far better position. क्यों? Now let me tell you that first of all, as if that exam has not become much harder these days, it was very tough since its inception. Since its inception, it was the toughest exam. And in 1990s, 1980s, it was not an easy exam. It was the toughest exam to crack. But at the same point of time, these people, as compared to the today's time, these people were more comfortable. Why so? There were not so many institutes. There were not so many books. There were not so many writers. There were not so many institutes. So nowadays, what happens that you have at your at your hand, so many institutes are there, so many notes are there, and once you have started reading the current affairs of the Vision, then you come across that अरे ये तो फोकस वाला तो बड़ा अच्छा है, then इसको भी खरीद लेते हैं, उसको भी खरीद लेते हैं. So this is how, rather than preparing for the exam, you do the grasshopper stuff or butterfly stuff, jumping from here to there, jumping from here to there, और उसमें कुछ भी नहीं complete होता है. Then you never clear the exam. This is what happens, that people often jump from one place to another place. Have faith in, once you have finalized your reference book, once you have finalized your study material, this is one advice which I'm giving to you. It's up to you to take or not, but if you follow this, definitely you will be in the list. कोई रोक ही नहीं सकता है. Once you have finalized a book or a particular material, don't tinker with that material. Don't tinker with that particular notes. And moreover, don't very often what happens, that suppose that you are reading vision material, one of your friend is reading some other material, so उसने बोला कि ये वाले में ये बहुत अच्छा दिया हुआ है, then you stop you reading your own material, you start reading the other material. Let me tell you that hardly there is a difference of 10 to 12% in any such material. All the materials are same. All the materials are same, and then all the materials are exactly similar. Then so कुछ भी पढ़ रहे हो, read it religiously. That is important. So let's get back to this part. मैं कहाँ से कहाँ चला गया? मैं भूल गया मैं क्या पढ़ा रहा था. So Maharana's episode I was telling you. So this is what Akbar did at this point of time. So now I hope that you have clear picture of the story or the confrontation between the Maharana and the or the enmity between the Maharana and Akbar. The enmity was about their sovereign power. It was not about their characters. They had huge respect for each other's character. Akbar at the same point of time, and Mansingh at the same, Maharana at the same point of time. Please write. So last you have written, you write that I hope that you have written that with Rajput rulers he followed the policy of the negotiation, whereby he said that if they accept the supremacy of the Akbar, they would be given autonomy and they would be independent. Then after you write, as such, all majority of the Rajput rulers, as such, majority of the Rajput rulers accepted, majority of the Rajput rulers accepted Akbar's supremacy, except Maharana Pratap of Mewad, except Maharana Pratap of Mewad. Then further you mention, on the question of Mewad, Akbar's close associate Man Singh, fought with Maharana in Battle of Haldi Ghati. In Battle of Haldi Ghati, 1576, or no, just let me check the exact date. मेरे को थोड़ा सा confusion है Battle of Haldi Ghati. Exact date गलत ना हो. 74 or 76, all the time I am confused. 76, okay, it's right. So 76 Battle of Haldi Ghati, 1576. In which Akbar supported Man Singh's army, or close, you have already written Akbar supported mat likho, in 1576 full stop. Then you write, the war was inconclusive and Mewad could not be annexed. The war was inconclusive and Mewad could not be annexed. Then full stop. Then further you write, Mewad could not be annexed after this. So you write last few words, and then we'll talk about the different initiatives of the Akbar. So please mention that after establishing a very large Mughal empire, Akbar took his last breath in 1605. Akbar took his last breath in 1605. After which his son Jahangir became the next ruler. So this is about the Akbar's life. Let's talk about the initiatives of the Akbar. Okay? So let's begin with the initiatives of the Akbar. So first of all, that administration I need to talk about. So when it comes to the administration of Akbar, so in administration, listen, that in the administration of Akbar, that Akbar divided, that as you wrote at the time of the Sher Shah Suri, that Sher Shah Suri created the base of the provincial administration, which was later on elaborated by Akbar. Then, so how Akbar is elaborating that Akbar, for the ease of administration, he divided the Mughal empire into 16 Suba. Then, so 16 Suba, and what is this 16 Suba? These are the provinces. Then so Akbar divided into the provinces, and these provinces were further subdivided. Then so these provinces were further subdivided, which would be as follows. So please you write, for ease of administration, for ease of administration, Akbar divided, for ease of administration, Akbar divided Mughal Empire into 16 provinces. Mughal Empire into 16 provinces known as Suba. Known as Suba. Then further you mention, it was further subdivided, which is as follows. So one by one you write these all subdivisions. So first you write that पहले तो मुगल टेरिटरी पूरा हो गया, but उसके बाद then first is the Suba, and Suba, then after Sarkar, then Pargana, and then Mahal. Pargana and Mahal. So what is this Suba? It's fun to choose color. So Suba is province. Sarkar, you can say that it would be a kind of zone or divisions, and Pargana, you can say it as a kind of district. And Mahal is block or group of village. And then one last unit you can write village. So final village hota tha. So village was gaon, gram. So these subdivisions were there at the Akbar's time. Suba, Sarkar, Pargana, Mahal and village. Done? Then now listen. So after this, that not only these divisions, but I need to mention the system of administration in the Mughal period. And the system of administration was the Mansabdari system. Okay? So in the administration itself, I need to discuss about the Mansabdari system. That I'll continue after the break. Okay? So break ले लेते हैं, and after the break, Mansabdari system I'll talk about. ठीक है? चलो. So listen, that there are two questions. एक तो थोड़ा सा आगे से ही पूछ लिया है. Means that the topic that I haven't covered till this point of time. But definitely, Ajay has asked this question that Amar Singh accepted Mughal supremacy. That's at the time of the Jahangir, not at the time of the Akbar. So I'll not answer this question right now, but आज के ही क्लास में बाद में बता दूंगा. What about the Jodha Bhai episode? अब देखो सब कुछ तो नहीं पढ़ा पाऊंगा. That not everything. That from exam perspective, what is important and what you need to know rightly, that I have already conveyed, but let me tell you about the Jodhabai a little bit. The Jodhabai was the princess from the Amer. She was the daughter of the Kachwaha Rajput ruler Bharmal, and then there was this, as you have written in the early, that in the beginning itself, that there was this Akbar's policy of negotiation, whereby most of the Rajput rulers accepted, which included the Bharmal also. Bharmal accepted the supremacy of the Akbar. Moreover, as a mark of respect, he offered the hand of his daughter, this lady Jodhabai, that there were many names of the Jodhabai. She was known as Harkabai also. In some account you will listen that say she was known as Harkabai or Hirabai. And then moreover, when coming to the Mughals court, she was known as the Maryam Uz-Zamani. Then so Maryam Uz-Zamani, that was also one title associated with the Jodhabai. But it is quite true that it is the Jodha which actually changed the religious orientation of the, I will not say religious orientation, but religious perception of the Akbar. Moreover, Akbar was inclined towards more tolerant attitude towards the Hindus. Moreover, he was the representative of the synthetic culture of India, whereby at the same point of time he was not only giving patronage to the Islam and other religions, but at the same point of time Hinduism also. In fact, that it is under the Jodha's influence that Akbar gave huge fundings to the Govindadev temple of the Mathura Vrindavan. In fact, that within Islam there was one accepted cadre of the Krishna's love. Then, so people followed Islam on one hand, on the other hand, they had huge love and then devotion towards Krishna. So this is a new trend which started from the time of the Akbar, and this can be attributed to the Maryam Uz-Zamani or Jodhabai. So she had a long-lasting, very positive influence on the I'm sorry. So influence on the Akbar. अजय तुम्हारा क्वेश्चन बाद में एड्रेस करेंगे because थोड़ा जल्दी पूछ लिया है तुमने. According to the topic, we will move by the topic that Amar Singh, या चलो सुन लो, if you have asked, so पहले ही बता देता हूँ. That Amar Singh was the son of the Maharana. 1597 he came to power. He also did not submit it before the Mughals then, so he did not submit it before the Mughals. And I think that it till 1615 it was like the same, that Mughals were not able to conquer this area, but finally that it was a prestigious issue for the Mughals also, that if they wanted to be the rulers of India, so they needed to annex the Mewar, and Mewar was the prestigious question on the this particular area of the that empire of the Mughals. So this point of time, 1615, Jahangir, when he would be the ruler, so he would be sending his son Khurram to fight this battle with the Mewar. Though Mewar had nothing to lose at this point of time, but moreover that it got weakened over the period, and in the war he was defeated, that this Mewar ruler Amar Singh, in the battle he was defeated, and when he folded his hands before Prince Khurram, so at that moment what happened, that when he folded his hands, so there was a clear instruction from the Jahangir that even after the defeat, that Mewar ruler must be, he must be given due respect. And this is what happened, that Mughals gave him due respect, that they did not beheaded him, even when he was thoroughly executed, he was not beheaded. Moreover, he was not called to the Mughal court because he was in old age, that, and moreover his own area of the Mewar and Chittor was given as a Jagir to him. So Mughal respected. The only prestigious question before the Mughal was that finally Mewar must accept the supremacy of the Mughals, which happened at this point of time in 1615 at the Jahangir's time. In Akbar's time it did not happen. In fact, Akbar did not tinker at this point of time. That he did not, that he gave due respect to the Maharana and his legacy. And meanwhile, Akbar was also ill by 1597. He was also quite ill, and that's how he battled his own struggle with his body till 1605 when he finally died. So let's get back to the very important topic. Without completing this topic, आज का class तो खत्म नहीं हो सकता. तो quickly we'll go to the Mansabdari system. Mansabdari system. You can write it as a heading. Now listen. When it comes to the Mansabdari system, so first of all, Mansabdari system, In India, it was initiated by the Akbar. Then, and basically what is this system? It's the system of administration in Mughal court, whereby all the officers were known as Mansabdar. Everybody, no matter that all the officers can be considered as a Mansabdar. Then, so first you write, the system in India was initiated by Akbar. The system in India was initiated by Akbar. It derives from the word Mansab. It derives from the word Mansab, which means official. It derives from word Mansab, which means official. Then further you mention, all the officers in the Mughal court, were known as Mansabdar. Then further you mention, were known as Mansabdar. The Mansabdari system had two components. The Mansabdari system had two components. So one by one you write these components. So the first component, Zat. So in this you write, it was, I'm writing on the board so you can write simultaneously. It was the personal rank of a Mansabdar. In official hierarchy. It was the personal rank of Mansabdar in official hierarchy, and according to rank, he received payment. According to rank, he received payment. According to rank, Mansabdar received payment. Now listen, when we talk about the payment, so basically what is there? The question arises, what form? Payment कौन से form में था? ठीक है? Cash or any other form? So on the basis of the payment, there were two type of Mansabdar. So here only I'm writing that thing so that clarity would be there. So let me move it further. So on the basis of the payment, just 1 minute. So on the basis of the payment, there were two type of Mansabdar. So here you can write on the basis of payment, and then first you mention Naqdi Mansabdar. Naqdi Mansabdar. So meaning that the Mansabdar who got salary in cash. You can write paid in cash. Second, Jagirdari Mansabdar. Paid in the form of Jagir. What is Jagir? piece of land. Jagir is piece of land. Now again one question arises. Was this land which was granted to the mansabdar in this one? यहाँ तो easy हो गया कि भैया इतना काम किया तो 1 लाख रुपए salary. This is what has been given. Now in Jagirdari Mansabdar, that if the Jagir is paid or piece of land is given as a payment, so the question arises, was it hereditary or temporary? Then, so the nature of the grant of the Jagir was temporary. It was not hereditary, not transferable. So further you can mention in this one, साथ साथ में ही लिखते चलना. Just 1 minute. So you write in this, just 1 minute. The only thing that I'm liking in this digital system that I can use a hell lot of colors. So next, right? The Jagir was granted for temporary period. It was not hereditary and transferable. It was not hereditary and transferable. It was not hereditary and transferable. So this is the Zaat of the Mansabdari. So Nakdi Mansabdar and Jagirdari Mansabdar, it's very simple. Though in the beginning it may seem to you that कि Mansabdari system में क्या क्या पढ़ना है, कुछ difficult होगा. It's not that difficult. You only need to understand, again I'm explaining. All the officers are Mansabdar. ठीक है? There could be other names also. Then that one officer, overall umbrella term for all the officers is Mansabdar. Then, but in this Mansabdari there are subdivisions. Then we'll see that later. But first of all, so this Mansabdari system was had two components. The very first is the Zaat. And what is this Zaat? Zaat is the personal rank of a Mansabdar in the official hierarchy, and as like his rank he will get the salary. Then so what form of salary? So salary in two forms. One is the Nakadi, that is the he is getting that if a Nakadi Mansabdar is there, so it means that he is getting cash payment. And if there is a Jagirdari Mansabdar, so he is paid in the form of the Jagir, that is piece of land. This Jagir is temporary, given for temporary period, and it was not hereditary and transferable. Now, what is the second component of the Mansabdari system? So let's look at the second component of the Mansabdari system. So पहला तो rank हो गया, भाई salary वाली बात हो गई. Second is about the responsibility. Then, so second is about that the purpose for which they are getting the payment. Then, so this is what we call Savar. So second component, oh, it's not visible, just 1 minute. This color is not visible. Let's see. So second is Savar. Second component you write Savar. And what is Savar? So Savar is basically what that a particular Mansabdar, be it Jagirdari Mansabdar or Nakdi Mansabdar, Savar is that how many soldiers he is maintaining and how many horse he is maintaining. Then so it is basically the duty of the or responsibility of a Mansabdar. So you write it indicates the number of horses and soldiers, number of horses and soldiers maintained by a Mansabdar, according to his Zat rank. According to his Zat rank. For example, let's suppose that somebody's Zat rank is very high. So it means that he will be maintaining more number of horses, more number of soldiers. And if somebody's Zat rank is low, so he'll be maintaining less number of horses, less number of soldiers. Then, so this is what are the components of the Mansabdari. So Zat and Sawar, these are the two components. It is as simple as that. Then, so for example, that's the 5000 rank Mansabdar. Then, so 5000 rank Mansabdar meaning very high rank 5000. So he will be maintaining large number of soldiers and horses. If a Mansabdar has 500 rank, so 500 rank means that he will be maintaining 1 by 10th of the 5000 rank. Then you got that. So this way, and this official hierarchy Zat we mentioned, it was always indicated in number. So the ranks varied from 100 to 5000 for the normal people, and for the Mughal princess the Mansabdar status was 7000. Then though Mansingh was also given 7000 status, but otherwise generally the 7000 status was only meant for the Mughal princess, and any other Raja or any other person who is getting allied with the Mughal, so he was given 5000 status. So this is about the Mansabdari system which was initiated by the Akbar. Okay? Now let's move to the next part. And today what I am observing in myself itself, that from last, I think that last 1 week or so I'm using this one and this board. Today is the only day when I'm writing little bit clear on this digital board. नहीं तो इसके पहले तो मैं कुछ भी लिख रहा था, ऐसे लग रहा था कि मतलब ना किसी crow, मतलब any such kind of crow handwriting was there. So let's move to the next part. So economic initiatives during the Akbar's period. Then so economy. So administration हो गया. Let's look at the economy. Now, first of all, let me tell you, we will talk about the taxation, but uske pehle, that by the time of the Akbar, that when he assumed power in India, so he made India second biggest GDP in the world, and by the time of his death, India became the first largest GDP in the world. In fact, it was the manufacturing hub of the world at this point of time. So you write that when Akbar assumed full-fledged power, when Akbar resumed full-fledged power, Mughal India became second largest GDP of the world. Mughal India became second largest GDP of the world. Then you write, by the death of Akbar, it became the largest GDP of Akbar, largest GDP in the world. By the death of Akbar, it became largest GDP in the world. Then, but these terms are very subjective. Then here you cannot ask for the exact evidences which were there, but whatever kind of economic statistics that were available at that point of time, according to that, it was the largest GDP in the world. And you can ask the other question, that which was the second or first? That when Mughal was second, so who was the first? When Mughal was first, so who was second? It was China. So China, from the long time, it was the largest GDP in the world. You can look at the size of the country, not only the size of the country, but also the diversity related to the natural resources in the China. So in fact that they have everything. There are very less such things which are not available in China. So everything, they have everything. Starting from that needle, starting from any any such mineral you can count about, and starting from any such mineral to the viruses, they have everything. They can unleash it into the world any point of time. Then they have this capacity, and they are very effective in this. Then, and what they have done, so they have done it very effectively. You say that earlier that people mocked, you know, that we have different type of the attitudes of mocking down the people. For example, that many times we Indians do commit huge mistakes, not only the mistakes, blunders, that people started calling that person who is coming from the Nepal, so people starting Bahadur, 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 everybody is Bahadur, oh Nepali, oh Bhai Sahab. So this way, that it's not about that the word is abusive, but the way people said to that the people from the Nepal, they were referring to them, it seemed derogatory. And moreover, China also taught a lesson to the world, that all over the world, and moreover India, in India also, our country also, that we say that made in China doesn't last longer. Then so now, made in China lasts longer. It's already 1 year. Then, and then, by the time that made in China, that you have come up with the vaccines and everything. So they have what they have said, made in China and then value added in China. So now the new strains are value additions. Then, so you are whatever you are studying over here in the classes, that the original context, you will be doing the value addition for your selection. So that's how the virus has also done the value addition, and much faster than anybody could have expected. So new variants, new strains, and now don't say ever that made in China doesn't last longer. Then it has already created a havoc in everybody's life. And uh, सही बात है वैसे भी, अगर जो ऐसा नहीं होता, so you guys must have been here. क्या पता कल का 1st of January हम लोग साथ में सेलिब्रेट किए होते. So let's get back to the course. So economy. So this much part. Now let's come to the taxation part. So there was this very able minister of the Akbar, and in fact he was one of the 9 gems of the Akbar's court. His name was Raja Todar Mal. Then, so Raja Todar Mal, you can say that he could be the finance minister of the Akbar's court. So Raja Todar Mal, he came up with the policy of the progressive taxation. Policy of the progressive taxation. And what was this policy of progressive taxation? Going by this policy of progressive taxation, land was surveyed and classified. Surveyed and classified according to the fertility. According to the fertility. Classified into 4 categories. Please write in further you write that Raja Todar Mal came up with the system of progressive taxation. Came up with the system of progressive taxation. Progressive taxation, whereby land was surveyed and classified. Whereby land was surveyed and classified into following categories. According to the fertility of the land. According to the fertility of the land. Done? So now you write these subcategories which I am going to mention. So the first one you write, and please keep little bit of space so that I can explain. Polage land, थोड़े जगह छोड़ देना, so that you will be writing later on what is there in this one. Polage land, then second, Parati land, third, Kachar land, and fourth is the Banjar land. So what is the Polaj land? I'm writing साथ साथ में लिख लो. You guys also write. Most fertile. Most fertile. Then next you write attracted maximum amount of tax annually. Then Parti land left fallow for 1 year to regain fertility. Taxes imposed in alternate years only. Imposed in alternate years only. ठीक है, एक साल छोड़ के, जिस साल में fertility होगी, that the year in which the cultivation would be done, so then in that year only the taxes would be imposed. Then this is Kachar, so left fallow for 2 years to regain fertility. And taxes in the year of cultivation. So it means that every third year taxes are imposed. Taxes imposed in third year. Then in third year, then Banjar land. So it is the least fertile land. सबसे ज़्यादा fertile Polaj, then Parti, then Kachar, and least fertile is the Banjar. So you can mention least fertile, left fallow for 5 or more years. 5 or more years. To regain fertility. Least amount of taxes. In the year of cultivation. So this is about the system of taxes. That's why we call it the progressive system of taxation. So Polaj, Parti, Kachar, Banjar. These are the 4 categories. Then now let's get back to the socio-religious initiatives of the Akbar. So next one, I'll give you 1 minute, write it quickly. Then we'll move to the socio-religious initiatives of the Akbar. चलो 2 minute ले लो, not just 1 minute. So tomorrow's class will be left with the Jahangir's time, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. That would be the about the Mughals, and in uh, Delhi Sultanate part, I didn't mention about the Vijayanagar and Behmani. So we'll also complete the part related to Vijayanagar and Behmani. Okay? So today we'll be able to complete the things related to Akbar. So now I hope you must have written. Now move to the next part, socio-religious initiatives of the Akbar. Please mention socio-religious initiatives of Akbar. Socio-religious initiatives of Akbar. So first of all, so Sahil has asked that Jagirdari system is similar to the Ikta system of Iltutmish. Is there any major difference? Uh, Basically, that difference that we can say that in the Iltutmish, this Ikta system which we mentioned, what we mentioned that Ikta land was given to the landholders and they were collecting the revenue in the respect of the military services. Yes, it's like the same. And then in Mansabdari also, that what kind of system is there, that they have been collecting the revenue or generating the revenue from that particular granted land for the military services. Original purpose is the same. Original purpose is the same, but the thing is that the ranking system was not there in the ICTA, and ICTA was that there was no such kind of that such a large hierarchy. All the ICTA holders were of the same rank, but in Mughal system, they created a large official hierarchy and whereby the ranks ranged from 500 to 7,000. As I said to you that 500 was the lowest rank. In fact, that lowest rank, and then also 5,000 was the highest rank, but 7,000 was reserved for the Mughal princes and also some of the very close associate of the Mughals. For example, Raja Man Singh. Then, so Man Singh was given, and later on, Jai Singh was also given this kind of status. So basically, that it's related to the that official hierarchy, and also the payment system was more classified, much better, in much better fashion it was done. Moreover, it also tried to reduce the corruption. Then, though the corruption is something which cannot be eliminated completely from any such kind of system, but at least that this Mansabdari system, it had a good control as compared to the ICTA. So there are the differences. Then there are the differences, but we don't need to go. Already I told you that whatever that is required, this much would be enough. But there are other evaluations of the Mansabdari system which is not required over here, since that we are not studying it from the purpose of the history optional. If it would have been the history optional classes, so Mansabdari पे पूरी एक class ही हो जाती है, खत्म हो जाती है. And hopefully by the next year you guys will be joining me for the history optional. So तब मैं पढ़ाऊंगा जिन लोगों को history optional पढ़ना होगा. So social religious initiatives of the Akbar. Then now let's come to the social religious initiatives of the Akbar. So first of all, that Akbar abolished jizya system, jizya tax, the discriminatory jizya tax, and pilgrimage tax. Then, so you write one by one. You write Akbar abolished jizya tax and pilgrimage tax. Akbar abolished jizya tax and pilgrimage tax. Then next you write after this one. Akbar stopped converting prisoners of war of war into Islamic faith. Prisoners of war. So Akbar stopped converting prisoners of war into Islamic faith. Into Islamic faith. Now listen, these two are the self-explanatory ones. But let's come to the next part that related to the socio-religious initiatives of the Akbar. So first of all, Akbar opened one such very big hall of the discussion known as the Ibadat Khana. Then he created this Ibadat Khana in Fatehpur Sikri. And the purpose of this Ibadat Khana, in fact, it was the question in 2014 prelims that what was the purpose of the Ibadat Khana. Generally going by, okay, so how it has come, I'll go back. No issues, no issues. So this is what is the problem with the technological system, that you are delivering something else at the front and then all of a sudden that it opens the web and then something else would be visible to you. Then and don't be happy. So Delhi Times is not will not be visible on this. So what I was saying, I forgot. थोड़ा सा ब्रेन फॉग हो गया है तबीयत खराब होने के बाद. I just forgot that what I was saying. Yes, I was talking about Ibadat Khana. So in 2014, Ibadat Khana, so going by the meaning, exact meaning of the Ibadat Khana, Ibadat means the prayer and Khana is the hall. So prayer hall, but this is not the purpose of the Ibadat Khana, which was created by the Akbar in Fatehpur Sikri. Ibadat Khana was a place of discussion and deliberation with the representative of the representatives of the different religious heads. So different religious heads. So Akbar opened this Ibadat Khana for this purpose, not for the purpose of the prayer hall. So this is exactly what was the question. Or question में UPSC ने किया क्या था, that they kept prayer hall also, so that majority of the people, that those who are a little bit aware with the Urdu, so they can go with the prayer hall. Then so in fact that मेरे भी काफी known लोगों ने, मेरे भाई ने भी ऐसे ही किया था, that he went with the prayer hall. So next you write that Akbar opened Ibadat Khana. Akbar opened Ibadat Khana in Fatehpur Sikri. Opened Ibadat Khana in Fatehpur Sikri for discussion and deliberation, with the representatives of different religions, representatives of different religions. Then, so this is what was the initiative of the Akbar at this point of time. Ibadat Khana, 2014 prelims. Then now, let's move to the... So before winding up the Akbar's episode in today's class, I just want your response. And related to what? Related to this digital board. That though I know that I'm teaching it from on this digital platform, not digital platform, the digital screen from last 1 week. So initially I didn't felt very comfortable on this, but आज की क्लास मेरे हिसाब से सबसे अच्छी है, ठीक है? उसकी वजह क्या है? तुम लोगों का बैच है. So, and then I'm also writing very comfortably today. So I just want to know your opinion that which particular one you are more comfortable with. This one या फिर then whiteboard. अपने replies भेजो because I want to know. Then, and I want to incorporate both. So Ibadat Khana, Fatehpur Sikri, then next one, that whatever that was discussed in the discussed in this Ibadat Khana. So as per the discussion, the outcome of the discussion was Akbar came up with his own new theology, Deen-e-Ilahi or Tawheed-e-Ilahi. Then, so you can mention Akbar. Fourth, you mention Akbar propounded his new theology that is Tawheed-e-Ilahi or Deen-e-Ilahi. Tawheed-e-Ilahi or Deen-e-Ilahi. So remove this digital board, it kills the feeling of the classroom. Yes, good. Whiteboard, both by Indu. So Nishant has said, so Nishant favors whiteboard, Garima whiteboard, Indu says both are good, Samidha whiteboard, and Subham has said visibility in this good. Yes, that's the one thing that I like in this board, that visibility is good. But actually you know that the problem with this, the earlier whiteboard is this with this classroom, which is from where I'm taking the class. So here the lighting system is the issue, not the whiteboard. When the classes are conducted over there from the Karol Bagh Center, so there the classroom experience is much better. That वहाँ का board काफी अच्छा है. But this is the classroom from where I'm conducting the classes. This is Mukherjee Nagar classroom. So यहाँ पे lighting system is little bad. थोड़ा सा not bad, but it somehow it doesn't gives good effect to the whiteboard. So I got most of your replies. Danish has said digital board. Chalo, Danish. Thank you. Digital board is best. Ansul. We can do one thing, that we can use both the boards. I have just requested that side by side both the boards could be there. So कुछ इस पे लिख लिया, कुछ उस पे लिख लिया. So Sajid has said this board and then Mrodbai digital board. Okay. Yeah, I know that digital board. And one thing that you guys are liking is exactly what I said, कि आज की class really में अच्छी हुई है digital board पे. Otherwise first 5 days I was like that कि अरे यार ये क्या लगा दिया, मतलब कहाँ से हाथी के दांत ला दिए. So I was not comfortable. But चलो अच्छा है. So I got this has better visibility. Yes, that's the one good thing with this board, that it has very good visibility. And but the only problem you guys know that with this visibility, I'm writing little slow, that's why the words are clear. But यहाँ पे writing कुछ भी किसी भी direction में चली जाती है. So I'm more comfortable with the Nitish has said that whiteboard and Neha has said digital. Chalo, but there is one benefit to me going digital. I have one installed at my home also, so I can take classes from घर से, ठीक है? But that I don't want. इसी बहाने कम से कम ऑफिस आने को मिलता है. Since you guys are not there, but some office staff is there, so उन लोगों से मुलाकात हो जाती है. So I got most of your replies. चलो अब accordingly I will ask to the management to make use of both. And whenever you guys would be there in the classroom, जब भी कभी open होगा, so then obviously we need to go with the whiteboard. क्योंकि class में तो ये दिखाई ही नहीं देगा. This board is, digital board is small, and if you are, suppose that you are sitting on 19th row, 20th row, so दिखाई ही नहीं देगा कि what is written over here. So this Akbar propounded his new theology, that is Tawheed-e-Ilahi or Deen-e-Ilahi. With this new theology, Akbar wanted to spread the message of Sulekul. Then, so spread the message of Sulekul, that is the universal peace and brotherhood. So whiteboard was the only real thing in the virtual platform, else we are digitized in the pandemic. Yes, really. I agree with you, Himanshu, that whiteboard was the only real thing. मुझे भी ऐसा लगता है कि whiteboard भी थोड़ा होना चाहिए. दोनों combine कर सकते हैं. This is what I have requested today, that we will combine both the things. So now let's come to that. So you write, further you write that with this theology, Akbar wanted to spread the message of Just 1 minute. To spread the message of Sule Kul. Sule Kul. So, Sayan and Deepak, I got your replies. So, Sule Kul wanted to spread the message of Sule Kul, which is universal peace and brotherhood. Universal peace and brotherhood. Which is universal peace and brotherhood. Thank you, Swati, for your response. So, in fact, that I am able to use this screen better today because of your batch. You guys are there. There was other batch, I think that day before yesterday. I detested on that day. So, Sulekul, this part. Then last two initiatives, social religious initiatives of the Akbar. Now listen. So, first of all, that one such initiative that Akbar issued decree of infallibility and इसको बोलते हैं उर्दू में मजहर, ठीक है? So document of mazhar or decree of infallibility, whereby Akbar said that in case of any such religious dispute or any such dispute, the decision of the Mughal emperor would be final. So this is the decree of the mazhar. So Nayan, your response also I have got that digital board is better. Yes, this is what I am also liking, that कि इसमें बहुत सारे color use हो सकते हैं. And then moreover, there is one benefit to me in digital board, that I'm not inhaling the that particular smell of the chemical which we write that particular marker. Whenever I'm erasing, so definitely we are smelling some kind of chemicals, and those who are doctors, they can say better that what kind of chemicals are used in the markers, and whenever we dust it off, so it goes inside. Then so in art and culture, yes, art and culture में तो काफी visible अच्छा होगा, and hopefully अगर जो पिछली week में अगर जो तुम लोग के classes, Beam has sent this one, so पिछली class अगर जो cancel नहीं हुई होती, so today we must have been reading art and culture. In fact, we will enjoy art and culture classes on the digital board, because I have some kind of images also which will be better visible on this one. चलो सो जल्दी से लिखते हैं. So Akbar released document of mazhar. Akbar released document of mazhar or decree of infallibility. Decree of infallibility. Decree of infallibility. So document of mazhar or decree of infallibility, whereby he declared that in case of any dispute the decision of Mughal emperor would be final. In case of any dispute, the decision of Mughal emperor would be final. Then, so this is the mazhar document, and then the last one. So as we say that Akbar was the representative of the synthetic culture of this country, and he was true representative of the synthetic fabric and then Ganga Zamuni Tehzeeb of this country. So Akbar, not only that he was patronizing that the religion that he followed, but at the same point of time, Akbar also provided funding to this the very famous temple of Govind Dev. इसकी एक कहानी है, मैं सुनाऊंगा कल की क्लास में तुम लोगों को, ठीक है? So please write this last one, that Akbar also patronized, or not patronized, Akbar gave huge funds. Akbar gave huge funds to the construction of Govind Dev temple. Construction of Govind Dev temple in Mathura, Vrindavan. Govind Dev temple in Mathura, Vrindavan. In fact, that when this temple was created, so this temple was basically the largest temple of India when it was created. So Abu has said that, sir, you are inhaling diacetones and then propanol, kind of alcohol fumes. Okay, acetones and so one is acetone and another is the alcohol. So that's great. So yes. So thank you, Abu, for this information. I was not knowing that which particular chemical is there in the markers. And it's fine, no doubt visibility is better, but at the end what matter is, sir, that you are comfortable to use it or not, delivers us the best of your knowledge. Yes, actually, that now from today's class I'm feeling comfortable, little bit more comfortable as compared to last 5 classes which happened, and I think that some new batch has started. So in that, so finally Abu has said that when we are in Rome, be a roamer. This is digital era. Na? So choose digital things to make things habituate. Actually, digital is the new to us, but in case of health issues to teacher, opt for the digital, it will be good. Yes, Abu, thank you for this particular observation. In fact, that both the systems are good, but this is over the period what I would, if I would have to suggest the industry of the digital boards, I will suggest them to make a bigger board. The problem with the board is that it's small. It's just 75 or 320 centimeters. This one is 320 centimeters. And another one, which also we have installed, that is somewhere around 86 inches. Then, so that is little bigger, but जो whiteboard का length होता है उतना बड़ा नहीं है. So that's the problem. So if they can create cheaper versions of the digital boards, which could be little bigger, even half of the our whiteboards, so the work would be done. Because here the problem is that once I start writing, board khatam ho jata hai. So with this note, so tomorrow I'll be telling you about the Govind Dev temple also, some episodes related to the Govind Dev temple and what happened to this temple during the regime of the Aurangzeb. So with this note, I'm ending the today's class, and in fact that it was good beginning to the new year, and good to see in the very first class of new year you guys then. So thank you, and meet you tomorrow. Chalo.